Welcome to Hawaii Wellness Network, and we have a special guest today, Dr. Dean Nelson from Kailua, Hawaii. And your company name is The Next Step.
The coaching one.
The coaching one.
Yeah.
You do two things, which
Yeah.
is amazing how they go together. So it's life coaching,
Yeah.
and also you do applied kinesiology and
Well, treatment,
nutrition.
I call wind horse treatment, from Wind Horse Healthcare. That's what I ran for 15 years.
And then you chose to marry them together.
Yes and no. I mean, most of the coaching clients come from the Wind Horse clinic. They aren't actually married in terms that I do those techniques at once. The coaching is very much separate. Although most coaching people I do body work on.
So do you want to start with how if someone wanted to come to you and they had anxiety or they had stress or just they aren't they're having trouble sleeping, so they would come to you and then you would do a consultation or
Right. Well, I mean the body work part, meaning when I do the wind horse treatments, is what anybody would come to for any physical ailment or anything from asthma to allergies to migraines to PMS to menopause to musculoskeletal injuries. So that one's pretty straightforward in terms of why people come to me. It's pretty much why you would go to any health practitioner. I guess what makes it unique is that I, through the years, have accumulated different techniques. I'm a network chiropractor, and I've done that for almost 20-some years. And acupuncture, I've done that for over 20 years, as well as structural chiropractic and craniosacral. So I combine that along with teaching meditation as what I call a wind horse treatment, and somehow those combination of modalities seem to help.
do you want to talk a little bit, because some people are used to traditional chiropractic.
Yes.
I guess you would say subluxation.
Yes.
And you work with that, but it's applied kinesiology, so it's a little bit different.
The AK actually mostly are reserved for either what's called neuroemotional technique, which is a psychological-based technique of getting to the unconscious mind through AK, or I use AK, applied kinesiology, and muscle testing for both nutritional-based reasons, checking out people's supplements, seeing how many they need, and things like that.
And that's called applied
That's
kinesiology.
that's the applied kinesiology. That's just again one of the modalities I do. And within applied kinesiology is a psychological, or you could almost say unconscious work, dealing into the unconscious or subconscious through NET, neuroemotional technique. So it sounds confusing because one's called network, one's called net, and you have craniosacral, then structural, which is more of the subluxation-based chiropractic. And finally, the acupuncture. And the thing that holds it all together is the mind-body approach of meditation.
So a lot of people have heard about muscle testing. That's like one way that you can kind of test their body and the organs.
Yes.
Do you want to do a small
Yeah,
demonstration?
that'd be fun.
Okay,
That'd
so
be
should
fun.
I stand up?
Yes.
Or
Well,
I can
actually, you
sit?
can just sit next
Okay.
close to me. I'll come to you. Actually, we'll just AK is based on a simple fact that your body, when you're not congruent with what you speak, or you're not congruent with anything that has some sort of meaning to you. The meaning could be as small as a pill or a supplement. It means something to you. It has a charge. It's either good for you, you're either positive with it, negative with it, or you kind of don't care in the neutral realm.
So you could test someone's vitamins, because I know like a lot of people you have a cabinet full, but you
Right.
don't necessarily need them. every day.
Exactly. I mean, this one I'll use a lot to test people's supplements. But this will be kind of fun. I'm going to use
Okay.
your left arm to do this, so you be really strong. Now I'm going to test your polarity. I'm actually going to test and see if you're wired right and if in fact
If
you.
I'm wired right, okay. I'm sure a lot of people want to know. If
So I'm going to put a negative on a negative, and you're going to try to be strong. Try to be
Okay.
strong. Really, 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 really
Wow,
strong.
so that my arm goes down.
Right, and now
Okay.
be neutral, and now I'll make you strong. Make you strong.
Wow.
So you're wired right. So now I know
Okay.
that I have the right to test you. So this is a fun one.
Okay.
Say your name is Mary.
My name is Mary.
Strong. And
No.
you're incongruent with that. You're not congruent. It does not make you strong because you've told something that isn't true.
Okay.
So say your name is Laura.
My name is Lori.
Right. And
Wow.
I drive a. Say what you drive.
I drive a Honda.
Strong. You do drive
Okay.
a Honda. Say I drive a Volkswagen.
I drive a Volkswagen.
You're not congruent with
Right.
that. So it's what you're congruent or what builds your strength. So it's one great big lie detector test, you could say, or one big bioelectric way of a bioelectric check on the
So
body.
you can check it to see, if someone's like has anxiety
Yeah,
or
yeah,
if
yeah.
they're not sleeping. You
Strong,
can,
I can check organs on you.
what is that?
Well, we don't want to talk about all these things.
No, you're welcome to share. Is it digestion or?
That's a descending colon, but it also looks like it might be over, so I'd have to get
Okay.
more specific with that.
Wow. So you would go through all the body
Yeah,
parts, which is nice.
yeah. You can do it very quickly. It's an exciting exciting way of gathering information.
And what's nice is a lot of people wait until they have symptoms. So
Yeah.
then maybe their body parts, really having problems. So this is a way of detecting ahead of time.
For the body piece. very
Right, the
much.
body, and then you can at least do a treatment.
And most people's bodies have a psychological piece or a mental or emotional piece behind the charge or physical. And so you can route out that as well. So it's very exciting work, those two come.
It's really fascinating.
Yeah,
so
it
it could
is.
be something emotional that I'm holding on to with that body part, or
I would say 8 out of 10 times there's an emotional component to it, almost invariably.
and maybe something I can blame my parents for my past. My mom did that, or my dad did that.
No, I don't think the blame game never gets you very
Yes,
far.
I
But
understand.
yeah, no, well put. But it does allow you to actually say, wow, I didn't know I was actually thinking that or holding that. I think there's a lot of oh wows with that.
So when you go through everything and you discuss what you found,
Yeah.
then you can do supplements with them to balance out the organs? or
Somewhat. I mean,
diet?
I do very simple nutrition now. It's gotten more and more simple. But also it's routing it out of the back of your mind, and that's a network, which is based on moving information in the brain forward, almost the chakra system, quite frankly, which I don't usually talk about very much, but that's really what a network's based on. Is working on the back of your mind, you could say, or working on the information that goes up and down the brain cord. So network is kind of an advancement in chiropractic care altogether.
Wow.
But it didn't replace the structural approach, which is wonderful, the subluxation structural approach. So I combine those three forms of chiropractic.
Very fascinating.
Yeah, it's a dance, a wonderful thing to do.
And why did you choose to work with these modalities versus traditional chiropractic like subluxation or something?
Well,
A different path.
I think boredom.
So you learned the traditional forms and then you added.
Yeah. It's much more interesting. You can help more. You can help with a wider range of problems. You can go into the psychological and emotional realm, and then that dovetails into the spiritual realm. So I think from the get-go I got into chiropractic through Chinese medicine and through Buddhism. So I was always more interested in what the mind and body, how they were playing through the body, than I was just in taking a symptom away.
So someone that might have gone to other practitioners and everybody always works together, or the medical community, and they're not getting answers, or things are not making sense to them, or they've been taking medications and surgeries and that's not working, then probably you would be great to go to see if there's an emotional component to some of the physical symptoms.
Yeah, that, and I think it's just good to have somebody who's looking at you holistically on your team. I think Western medicine is marvelous. I don't think there's any kind of either or about this.
Or work together with them.
Absolutely, especially for any kind of chronic problem or life-threatening problem when you're moving into the alphabet soup, whether that's HIV or MS or ALS or anything that really is the big word. You want a medical doctor, they're going to have a certain look at this thing, but you're not hiring them to preserve and move and help you with your life force, to actually keep you on top of your game, both psychologically, physically, mentally. It's a pretty big battle when you have some life-threatening diseases.
So you were working with all these patients, and then did you notice that a lot of them maybe were getting physically better, but you wanted to help them on the life coaching side and
Yeah, I
kind of
think
put a
so.
plan together for their life?
Yes, well put. The setup is that I have a symptom, help me with this. I have to actually get rid of this, get rid of the migraine, get rid of the lower back pain. But meanwhile, underneath all of this was still a tremendous amount of suffering and also a tremendous amount of relationship yet to be had. In other words, there's a whole depth of relationship that wasn't allowed within the confines of that kind of symptom-based care. So that's why I went into life coaching, is to open up the whole parameters of how you benefit from relationship and from really finding out what's going on in your body. So much of what's going on in our bodies is really about our lives. The system isn't set up to really actually say what's going on with your life, and do you want to play that game differently? Can you play the game of life differently in a way that affects your physical body?
So if everybody's having blockages or just not.
Well, usually when people come to you for coaching, it's because they're in a pickle.
Yeah.
They've tried something over and over again. Obviously, there's two things. One is that they have to be in some form of chaos or transition or change. And then there also has to be the humility to say, okay, do you want to change? Do you want to do something? Do you want to try a different stroke? So,
And you've been married for many years, so you're a good expert on
I do have
relationships.
that, yeah.
So that's a great thing.
That's
It's a great
helpful.
accomplishment.
It is.
So, and you also work with Shambhala Meditation Center in Kailua.
Right, yeah, I founded that center. It grew out of the clinic because, again, the clinic I felt, again, was limited in terms of how it was helping people. Most people, again, main pain is between their ears and worry and stress and anxiety.
I like that tagline, the main pain is between their ears. That's great. That's a Twitter moment.
Yes, is it?
Good thing to...
I'll have to learn how to Twitter now.
Yeah, there you go. You have all these great sayings.
Yeah, so the meditation really was the basis of the healthcare, so it was logical. And then the center came out of that, and then eventually the center was its own kind of standalone situation.
So you opened a new practice in Kailua.
Yes.
You're going to have a grand opening.
Well,
Now
it's a little bit smaller than that. I'm going back. I came out of retirement and back into semi-retirement with body work and with coaching, and then also I'm offering classes now on the meditations. I'm doing all of those right now.
So you have classes for meditation, and then you have classes at Shambhala Meditation Center.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Other people run and do.
And people can see you in your new office?
Yeah, right. Again, it's kind of a low-keyed and small practice, and just seeing a few people a week. It's fun. I get to play doctor and still be involved in people's care on many levels, and I really enjoy that.
And how does someone get in touch with you if they'd like to make an appointment or ask some questions?
Well, I have phone numbers.
Well, you can give those out. You're also in the Hawaii Wellness magazine.
I'm in the Hawaii Wellness magazine, and of course I'm online in the Wood Horse, and then with the Next Step.
The nextstep.com.
Yeah, the phone number is 388-9896. You get my lovely wife. You don't you should get me.
Your lovely assistant.
Yes.
Well, thanks for coming on and learning a lot about applied kinesiology.
Yeah, pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Of course. And I will see you in Kailua, one of my favorite